Hey everyone. Let's begin. Cultivation Online. Chapter 1926 Devouring the Demon Emperor. That level of demonic energy, another demon emperor has appeared. What is happening? Sun Ling Kai's jaw dropped after seeing Demon Emperor Malix's sudden appearance. It was so shocking that it forced her to stop painting briefly. You probably already know this, but in case you don't, Malice was the first demon emperor to be slain by me. Although Malice wasn't the strongest amongst the demon emperors, he came the closest to defeating me, mostly because I was still inexperienced back then. Yuan looked back at their battle as his gaze stared at Demon Emperor Malice, who stood there with a blank look on its face, resembling a soulless puppet. He gave a simple gesture, beckoning the figure forward. In response, Demon Emperor Malice stepped toward him, and without hesitation, dropped to its knees, then lowered itself further until it was bowing low, its forearms to the ground in a show of absolute submission. Demon Emperor Slaughter's eyes widened in a mix of shock and fury as it watched Yuan calmly sit atop Demon Emperor Malice's back, using its fellow Demon Emperor as if it were nothing more than a chair. How dare you? Demon Emperor Slaughter roared, his aura skyrocketing from rage. Why wouldn't I dare? Once I devour you in a moment, I'll make you wash my clothes or something, Yuan casually mocked it. You and I, the demon clan, cannot coexist under the same sky. Demon Emperor Slaughter roared, unleashing a torrent of bloodlust so overwhelming it seemed to shake the very air around them. A blood-red aura erupted around Demon Emperor Slaughter as it launched itself at Yuan, recklessly hurling its body forward, completely disregarding its own safety in a frenzy of rage. Why are you stating the obvious? The first thing you demons did after appearing in our world is treat humans as livestock. Yuan sneered as he stood up from his seat and prepared to face the approaching Demon Emperor. Demon Devouring Strike. As the Demon Emperor closed in, Yuan swung the Demon Devouring Sword without hesitation. In the blink of an eye, mid-attack, the Demon Emperor vanished, its entire existence seemingly erased, as if it had never been there at all. Less than Demon Devouring Sword has devoured Demon Emperor Slaughter greater than. Less than Demon Emperor Slaughter can now be summoned through the Demon Devouring Sword greater than. Less than Demon Devouring Sword has refined the demonic energy into spiritual energy, which can be absorbed at any time greater than. Did you defeat the Demon Emperor? Sun Ling Kai suddenly asked, breaking the silence. Yes, it's dealt with now, Yuan calmly responded. No way, Sun Ling Kai swallowed nervously. Despite witnessing it herself, she still couldn't believe how easily Yuan had defeated the Demon Emperor, an existence that could threaten the entire Demon Sealing clan. Are you okay? Yuan asked as he approached her. Why yes. When Sun Ling Kai realized that she was still sitting on the floor, she quickly stood up. Thank you for saving my life, Founder. About that Founder thing. Yuan retrieved the necklace Sun Ling Kai had given him before and showed it to her. Huh, that necklace? Sun Ling Kai's eyebrows rose, looking confused, but not because she didn't recognize the necklace. But I gave that to the little Founder, she muttered. Yuan smiled at her words and explained, that's right. It's me, Yuan. What? Sun Ling Kai stared at his handsome face with a dumbfounded expression on her face. I'm Yuan, he repeated in a firmer tone. But, I know what you're thinking. I am Yuan, but I am also the Divine Paragon. I am his reincarnation. Sun Ling Kai gazed at Yuan, her face blank with disbelief, until the weight of what she'd just heard sank in, and her expression shifted into utter shock. At that moment, all Sun Ling Kai could think about were the jokes made about Yuan being the reincarnation of the Divine Paragon because of his uncanny resemblance. What once seemed like idle talk amongst the Divine Paragon fanatics had turned out to be the truth. I apologize for tricking you. I had to make sure you were trustworthy since my existence could drastically affect everyone in the Demon Sealing clan. Sun Ling Kai shook her head and said, you don't have to apologize. I completely understand. However, I must ask, does senior sister Yan know about this? Yes, she knows of my true identity, and you're the second person within the demon sealing clan to know. Wait a second, is that why she started gathering people? He nodded and explained, we plan on removing the current clan leader from his position, that's why she's gathering trustworthy people. Qian Chu. Is there any particular reason why? Of course, I don't have any issues with it. In fact, I believe you should lead the demon sealing clan again. Do you remember that incident during the Supreme Demon Sealer examination? Of course. It only happened a few years ago, and because of that incident, our relationship with the demon sealing grotto has hit rock bottom. We're on the verge of war right now. No, we're already past that point. Well, I don't know why, but Qian Chu planned that to happen. Moreover, there's something off about him. I can't pinpoint it, but that's what my instincts are telling me. Are you saying that Qian Chu, the current leader of the demon sealing clan, is a demon? Sun Ling Kai exclaimed. No, there's no proof that he's a demon, nor am I saying he's a demon. However, there's definitely something odd about his existence. I'll try to look deeper into it once I reach the seventh heaven. Is there anything I can do to help you? Although my abilities as a demon sealer may be lacking, there should be something I can do to help. Since senior sister Yan has decided to fight against the clan leader, I cannot sit back and do nothing. You want to help, huh? I'm not sure what to tell you, but if you want, you can go talk to Yan Hara. I'm sure she'll have an idea. Okay. Sun Ling Kai eagerly nodded. Chapter 1927 Returning to the Frozen Cloud Ethereal Sect. By the way, why are you hiding your identity, even going as far as to wear a mask? Sun Ling Kai asked Yuan when he wore his mask again. Do you remember that demon the Nine Heavens Law and Order warned you about? That ridiculous and unbelievable existence. What about it? Well, that demon is me, Yuan calmly revealed. What? Sun Ling Kai exclaimed loudly, her eyes wide with shock. They mistook me for a demon because of my regenerative abilities, Yuan shrugged. Did you really kill one of them? If you hadn't done that. Yes, I did kill one of them. They wouldn't listen to me and got on my nerves. Sun Ling Kai then spoke in a cold voice, those bastards dared to call the founder of the demon sealing clan a demon. You should have killed all of them. Yuan smiled and said, let's continue our conversation later. There are still people waiting for us to return. Okay. Sometime later, Yuan and Sun Ling Kai returned to the captives' side. Moreover, before then, Yuan devoured the demon general, who was only sealed. The demons have been dealt with. Right now, we'll take you to the Frozen Cloud Ethereal Sect, where we will sort everything out and help you return to your home, Sun Ling Kai said to the captives, who immediately began crying from an overwhelming sense of relief. Sun Ling Kai retrieved her flying treasure, which could have its size adjusted and made it spacious enough to carry everyone. There. Once the captives were on the flying treasure, they began their journey back to the Frozen Cloud Ethereal Sect. It didn't take long for them to uncover solid evidence implicating the entire Cheng family and Ling family in the cult's activities. As for Red Saber Mountain and Purple Rain Monastery, the investigation revealed that only a handful of individuals were involved, and the sects themselves were not wholly complicit. Due to the incident, both the Cheng family and the Ling family were executed. Once Yuan and Sun Ling Kai arrived at their destination, the Frozen Cloud Ethereal Sect immediately began assisting the captives in reuniting with their families. Fortunately, those who had been kidnapped from the sect were still alive and among the rescued. I cannot thank you enough for your help, Senior Sun. Sect leader Yun bowed to her. I didn't do much, in fact, Xiao Yang here did most of the work, Sun Ling Kai said. That's not true. It was Senior Sun who defeated the demons. I merely assisted her, Yuan shook his head. Demons? You encountered demons? Sect leader Yun exclaimed in shock. Yes, there were 2 of them. Fortunately, they weren't anything special, or we wouldn't have been able to return in one piece. Yuan and Sun Ling Kai agreed to keep the appearance of the Demon Emperor a secret for now. After all, no one would believe that the two of them had defeated both a demon emperor and a demon general, and it would attract unwanted attention to Yuan. As for the captives, they knew almost nothing about demons and couldn't distinguish their ranks. Because of that, Yuan wasn't concerned about them revealing the truth. Anyway, I have dealt with the demons, and I even learned something about the reason behind their unusual activities, so I will be returning to the demon sealing clan soon, Sun Lingkai said. Before leaving, Sun Lingkai and Yuan had one last private conversation. I am allowed to let the demon sealing clan know about the demon's motives, right? Of course, I won't mention anything about the demon emperor, Sun Lingkai asked. Yuan nodded. Yes, go ahead and tell them. We must stop the demons from unsealing the demon realm at all costs. However, Yuan then said, actually, regarding the demon realm, I also plan on unsealing it. What? Why would you do something like that? I am not questioning your decision. I just want to know your reasoning so that I can better understand it. Regardless of the demon's motives, it's true that the seal to the demon realm isn't everlasting. It will eventually break, and once it does, we'll have another war with the demons. Unless all demons are defeated, including those in the demon realm, we will never truly be safe. Since it will eventually open, I might as well open it myself. Also, the demons will continue to kidnap and sacrifice humans until they achieve their goal. I see, that makes sense. In that case, maybe it'd be better to not let the demon sealing clan know about it. They will definitely increase the security of the demon realm once they learn about the demon's plan to unseal it. It would make for a good distraction. I don't intend on unsealing the demon realm until I take care of Qianchu, anyway. I cannot wait to see you lead the demon sealing clan again, Sun Lingkai muttered with a dreamy look on her face. Yuan chuckled and said, but I don't have any intention of leading the demon sealing clan. What? If you don't, who will replace Qianchu? Yan Hara. I am going to make her the next leader. No way, then what are you going to do? I have countless other things to do. Moreover, the demon sealing clan will become obsolete once there are no longer any demons left. That won't happen. Even if there are no more demons left in this world, the demon sealing clan will not perish. I didn't say they'll disappear. They'll just lose their purpose and will have to find other things to focus on. Sun Lingkai couldn't refute this inevitability. I guess we'll have to figure it out once we get there. Anyway, is there really nothing I can do to help you before I leave? Unless you can help me improve my cold immunity or enter the seventh heaven in complete secrecy, I can't think of anything else, he said. Your cold immunity. Sun Lingkai raised her eyebrows. Chapter 1928 Yuan's Heavenly Tribulation. Is that why you were at the extreme Yin Lake? To improve your cold immunity? Sun Lingkai asked. That's right. I need to train my body in a place with extremely strong yin qi. Sun Lingkai pondered for a moment before speaking. Actually, I might be able to help you in this regard. She retrieved a scrolled painting from her spatial ring and continued, this is one of my masterpieces. It's called, The Cold That Cuts Heaven, and I painted it when I visited the White Hell, one of 4 forbidden zones within the 9 heavens. White Hell? What kind of place is that? Yuan asked, his curiosity sparked upon learning it was one of the 4 gateways to hell, much like the Vanishing Valley. It's a land where the snow never stops falling, a world buried in endless white, which is how it got its name, Sun Lingkai explained. It's also one of the coldest places in the 9 heavens. Even immortals can freeze to death there. I see, so how exactly will that painting help me improve my cold immunity? Yuan asked, raising an eyebrow. In response, Sun Lingkai unfurled the scroll. The moment it opened, a wave of chilling aura surged out, instantly filling the room with an icy presence so intense that frost began creeping across the walls, freezing everything in sight. As for the painting itself, it depicted the peak of a towering snowy mountain, majestic and desolate, its summit shrouded in swirling frost, capturing the very essence of an eternal winter. This is one of many snowy mountains within White Hell, Sun Ling Kai explained. I can send people inside, and the environment and temperature are nearly identical to the real thing. If you're looking to train your cold immunity, this is the perfect place. Training inside a painting, huh? That's a first for me, Yuan said, raising an eyebrow with mild amusement. Sun Ling Kai offered an awkward smile. To be honest, this painting was originally meant to trap enemies. It's more of a torture chamber than a training ground. That's fine by me. The harsher the environment, the faster my cold immunity will improve. Sun Ling Kai added, also, you're trying to reach the seventh heaven without drawing attention, right? I haven't tested it before, but in theory, I might be able to smuggle you in using this method. Oh, since I don't know if it'll actually work, I am going to try it out on someone else first, she continued. I'll just find someone who's willing to participate in this experiment and take them to the seventh heaven with me when I visit the Demon Sealing Clan's headquarters. After I finish reporting to the Demon Sealing Clan, I will return here to help you with your cold immunity training, she explained. Alright, then I will wait for you here at the sect. How long do you think it'll take for you to return? Sun Ling Kai pondered for a moment before responding, it shouldn't take longer than a month. Then I will see you in a month. Sun Ling Kai left the Frozen Cloud Ethereal sect shortly after. Before heading to the seventh heaven, Sun Ling Kai went to look for a guinea pig for her experiment. After some thinking, she went to a prominent family in the sixth heaven and offered one of her treasured paintings to whoever was willing to assist her experiment. Due to Sun Ling Kai's reputation, she didn't have any issue gaining their trust, and with such an attractive offer, it didn't take long before she acquired a volunteer. Once prepared, Sun Ling Kai transferred the volunteer into one of her paintings before making her way to the stairway to heaven. However, she was unable to ascend to the seventh heaven because the stairway to heaven had detected the volunteer's presence within her treasure. So I can't use the stairway to heaven, huh? Fortunately, Sun Ling Kai was not out of options. After the attempt to smuggle a volunteer through the stairway to heaven failed, Sun Ling Kai retrieved a rare and valuable treasure, one that allowed her to return directly to the seventh heaven without relying on the stairway to heaven. It was a one-time use teleportation treasure, capable of sending its user to any previously marked location. Unlike most teleportation treasures, which were restricted to the same or lower realm, this one had no limitations. Despite its rarity and staggering cost, Sun Ling Kai didn't hesitate to use it for her experiment. Sometime later, Sun Ling Kai returned to the seventh heaven. After her return, she immediately retrieved her painting and the volunteer from it. It worked, she cried inwardly after seeing the volunteer in perfect condition. Now I just need to return to the sixth heaven and do it again with the founder. Meanwhile, as he waited for Sun Ling Kai's return, Yuan absorbed the spiritual energy refined by the demon-devouring sword. Less than you have reached the 9th level spirit enlightenment greater than. After reaching the peak of spirit enlightenment, Yuan pondered whether he should attempt to enter the divine realm. If I'm going to enter the seventh heaven soon, I should enter the divine realm before I do so. Hopefully, my physique won't prevent me from doing so. Yuan closed his eyes and began attempting to enter the divine realm. Less than you are attempting to enter the divine realm greater than. Less than you have evoked heavenly tribulation minor. Greater than. Hearing the notifications, Yuan opened his eyes. Heavenly tribulation, huh? He wasn't surprised that he had evoked a heavenly tribulation since every cultivator had to face a minor tribulation to ascend from the spirit realm to the divine realm. Just as Yuan stood up and prepared to leave his living quarters to confront the heavenly tribulation, another notification appeared. Less than Celestial Emperor's curse has been activated greater than. Less than due to the Celestial Emperor's curse, the heavenly tribulation has been affected, becoming more fierce. Greater than. Less than heavenly tribulation major prepares to descend. Greater than. Meanwhile, the skies above the Frozen Cloud Ethereal sect darkened as ominous black clouds gathered overhead. Thunder rumbled in the distance, its echo rolling across the land, audible from miles away. Heavenly tribulation. Someone triggered a heavenly tribulation. The disciples were shocked and alerted by the phenomenon. Chapter 1929 Entering the Divine Realm. Yuan stared at the new notifications with raised eyebrows. He didn't know the Celestial Emperor's curse had such an effect since it wasn't mentioned in its description. Less than heavenly tribulation major descends. Greater than. Before Yuan could even step outside or prepare himself, the heavenly tribulation struck without warning. The dark clouds above the frozen cloud ethereal sect roared with fury as a colossal bolt of lightning, large enough to engulf an entire building, crashed down, striking both Yuan and his house in a blinding explosion of light and power. The house was instantly vaporized by the heavenly tribulation. Yet, despite the overwhelming power of the strike, the nearby buildings remained untouched. The destruction was eerily precise, confined solely to Yuan's house, as if the heavenly tribulation possessed a will of its own, targeting only its intended prey. Heavens! That power! This is a major heavenly tribulation. Is someone attempting to break their mortal shackles right now? The disciples scattered in panic, fleeing as far as they could from the terrifying display in the sky. Normally, only those who had committed grave offenses against the heavens, or those attempting to ascend into the immortal realm, would trigger a major heavenly tribulation. The sheer scale of what they were witnessing filled them with dread and awe. Yuan, are you okay? Shi Meili and Tan Songyan, who lived in separate buildings beside Yuan's, rushed out the moment they sensed the commotion. Their eyes widened in shock when they saw that Yuan's house had vanished, replaced by a smoldering crater where it once stood. It's a heavenly tribulation. A major one, at that. Tan Songyan exclaimed after seeing the darkened sky. But why did one appear now? And why did it target him? A moment later, a figure suddenly leapt from the crater, rising into the sky with effortless grace. It was Yuan, and to everyone's astonishment, he looked completely unscathed, as if the heavenly tribulation hadn't touched him at all. Less than flawless heavenly physique has negated heavenly tribulation major. Greater than. Less than flawless heavenly physique has absorbed heavenly tribulation major. Greater than. Because the heavenly tribulation was lightning attributed, it was useless against Yuan's flawless heavenly physique. The divine energy that would have devastated others merely washed over him without leaving a mark. Don't worry, I am fine. I have experienced worse in the primal expanse, Yuan said. Less than heavenly tribulation major prepares to descend again. Greater than. As if provoked by Yuan's words, the heavenly tribulation rumbled furiously in response, gathering its power once more as it prepared to unleash a second, even more furious strike. Seeing this, Yuan said to the others, "It'll attack again soon. You should leave." Shi Meili and Tan Songyan listened to his advice and got away right before the second lightning bolt descended. Boom! The second bolt struck with far greater fury than the first, its destructive power obliterating everything around Yuan. The ground was reduced to scorched, blackened earth. Yet, Yuan remained unfazed even after being struck by such a powerful force. Less than flawless heavenly physique has negated heavenly tribulation major. Greater than. Less than flawless heavenly physique has absorbed heavenly tribulation major. Greater than. In fact, it only made him stronger. Less than you have stepped into the divine realm and reached first-level divine warrior. Greater than. Yuan could feel his spiritual energy and overall prowess skyrocketing. The leap from the spirit realm to the divine realm was staggering, an unfathomable gap, like the distance between heaven and earth. He looked toward the sky and spoke, "Is this all you got? If so, get lost." Less than due to player Yuan's provocation, heavenly tribulation major has increased in fierceness. Greater than. Less than heavenly tribulation supreme prepares to descend. Greater than. Purple lightning danced across the dark sky, writhing around like snakes. When the spectators saw this, their eyes widened with disbelief. Supreme heavenly tribulation. I have only ever heard about this level of heavenly tribulation from others. I never thought it would appear in the sixth heaven. Sect leader Yun nearly fell on her buttocks from shock. A supreme heavenly tribulation was powerful enough to obliterate even immortals, after all. Eventually, the third strike descended, an immense bolt of lightning so vast it lit up the entire sky before crashing down on Yuan. The impact was catastrophic, destroying every building and object within a 10-mile radius. Fortunately, the disciples had evacuated long before, and despite the destruction, there were no casualties. Less than flawless heavenly physique has negated heavenly tribulation, supreme. Greater than. Less than flawless heavenly physique has absorbed heavenly tribulation, supreme. Greater than. Less than you have reached second level divine warrior greater than. Ah. Yuan suddenly burst out laughing. Thanks for the boost, you sore loser. Keep coming at me if you dare. The clouds rumbled once more, echoing the heavens, fury at Yuan's continued provocation. But no further strike came. As much as the heavenly tribulation burned with the desire to smite him again, it was bound by its own laws. Yuan had withstood its wrath and survived the tribulation. If the heavens wished to challenge him again, they would have to wait for the next appointed time. For now, he had earned his qualifications to be in the divine realm. Less than you have earned the title, one who dares to provoke the heavens, greater than. Less than you have earned the title, one who dares to mock the heavens, greater than. Eventually, the dark clouds looming over the frozen cloud ethereal sect began to fade, slowly dissolving into the heavens. Moments later, a clear blue sky emerged. Shi Meili, Tan Songyan, and sect leader Yun approached Yuan shortly afterward. Why you? What did you do to summon a supreme heavenly tribulation? Tan Songyan demanded answers, her voice trembling with disbelief. And how are you completely unscathed? As an immortal herself, Tan Songyan had endured a supreme heavenly tribulation, and had barely survived. The memory of it still haunted her, making Yuan's effortless survival all the more unfathomable. The heavenly tribulation appeared because I was attempting to enter the divine realm, Yuan calmly explained. Divine realm. That would only summon a minor heavenly tribulation, major heavenly tribulation at most for those with heaven-defying talents. However, what you summoned was the supreme heavenly tribulation, which only appears when a bronze immortal attempts to become a silver immortal. Tan Songyan said. Chapter 1930 A Month of Cultivation. Yuan shrugged and said, it became more powerful when I provoked it. Why you provoked the heavenly tribulation? Not even a madman would dare to do something so insane. Tan Songyan's jaw dropped at this information. Anyway, Yuan turned to face sect leader Yun and bowed to her. I apologize for summoning the heavenly tribulation right in the middle of your sect, even destroying a portion of it. Sect leader Yun snapped out of her daze and shook her head before saying, it's fine. The destroyed property can be fixed. As long as nobody was hurt, I couldn't care less. Moreover, you saved several of our disciples. The least I can do is overlook something this minor. Thank you, Yuan said. Now then, since all of our guest houses are destroyed, you can stay at my place for now. It's big enough to accommodate all of you with ease, too. Okay. Sometime later, Yuan and the others moved into sect leader Yun's living quarters. I can't believe you're already at the second level of Divine Warrior when you were only at the second level of Spirit Enlightenment yesterday, Tan Songyan sighed in a heavy voice. Yuan smiled and said, it's only the Divine Warrior realm. I'm going to push my cultivation as much as possible before we go to the seventh heaven. Isn't it bad for your body to rush through so many cultivation levels so quickly? Shi Meili asked. For normal people, yes. However, my physique is unique, and I have already reached these levels before, several times, at that. Looks like our distance will widen even more now, she sighed. Hearing this, Yuan retrieved a monster core that once belonged to an immortal level magical beast and offered it to her. You can cultivate too. That's an immortal level monster core. Where did you get such a thing? That level of magical beast shouldn't exist below the seventh heaven. Tan Songyan asked. No, There is one place where you can find immortal-level magical beasts, the Vanishing Valley. The Forbidden Zone. You actually visited such a dangerous place. Tan Songyan swallowed nervously. If she was given the opportunity to go to the Vanishing Valley, she would, without a doubt, refuse. Sometime later, Yuan entered his room and resumed his cultivation. Instead of consuming monster cores, Yuan chose to absorb the spiritual energy stored within the demon-devouring sword first, since the sword held an enormous reserve of spiritual energy gathered during the demonic era. Less than you have reached 3rd level Divine Warrior greater than. Less than you have reached 9th level Divine Warrior greater than. Less than you have reached 5th level Divine Master greater than. Less than you have reached 9th level Divine Master greater than. Less than you have reached 1st level Divine Grand Master greater than. Although Yuan had reached the Divine Grand Master realm, absorbing spiritual energy manually from the demon-devouring sword was a slow process. Unlike consuming monster cores, which could instantly boost his cultivation, this method required patience and time. Of course, that was only considered slow by Yuan's standards. Compared to other cultivators, his cultivation speed was nothing short of absurd, practically defying common sense. Less than you have reached 4th level Divine Lord greater than. Less than you have reached 9th level Divine Lord greater than. Less than you have reached 1st level Divine King greater than. In just a single month, Yuan had advanced from the Spirit Enlightenment realm all the way to the Divine King realm, a feat that would be unthinkable for even geniuses. And he had done it while under the effects of the Celestial Emperor's curse, which slowed his cultivation speed by 99%. However, Yuan wasn't the only one whose cultivation surged. Lan Yingying, who received a portion of the spiritual energy Yuan absorbed through her supreme seal, had also advanced rapidly, reaching the 1st level of the Divine Lord realm. But unlike Yuan, such rapid progress came with risks. Advancing too quickly could destabilize her foundation and harm her cultivation. To protect her, Yuan sealed her supreme seal, halting her progress while he continued to cultivate. As for Feng Yushang, her cultivation had risen to the peak of the Divine Emperor realm. However, this wasn't newfound growth but merely the restoration of the strength she had once lost, and the Supreme Seal only quickened that recovery. Meanwhile, Sun Ling Kai returned to the Demon Sealing clan and reported her findings. She revealed her encounter with 2 demons in the 6th heaven and their disturbing plan to unseal the demon realm using a key forged from the sacrifices of innocent maidens. This revelation sent a wave of alarm through the entire Demon Sealing clan. Anything concerning the demon realm was considered highly sensitive, and potentially catastrophic. Thus, to prevent the demons from achieving their goal, the Demon Sealing clan declared the eradication of the demon worshippers their top priority. While they had kept a watchful eye on the cult in the past, they had never fully committed their resources. As for the search for the so-called demon, who had killed a cultivator from the 9 heavens law and order, the Demon Sealing clan chose to suspend the investigation for now. With the threat of the demon realm's unsealing looming, their priorities had shifted. After completing her report, Sun Ling Kai wasted no time and went to look for Yan Hara. With the Demon Sealing clan having recalled most of their demon sealers to address the crisis, it didn't take long for her to locate her. Senior Sister Yan, can you spare me some of your time? I have something important to tell you. Sure, let's go to my office. Once they entered Yan Hara's office and closed the door, Sun Ling Kai retrieved a painting from her spatial ring and said, I painted this during my travel to the 6th heaven, when I encountered the demons. When she revealed the painting of Yuan fighting the demon emperor, Yan Hara's eyes widened with surprise. Huh, wait a second, isn't that? The first thing Yan Hara noticed was Yuan's handsome face. Yes, it's the founder, or should I call him Little Founder? Yan Hara's entire body stiffened at such words. She swallowed nervously before asking in a shaky voice, what are you trying to say? Judging by your reaction, I think you know exactly what I'm trying to say, Sun Ling Kai responded with a teasing smile. The end. Your feedback is appreciated. If you enjoyed the